In 1973, director Sidney Lumet, who's one of the best directors ever, directed a film about police corruption, and it's ultimately the career of Frank Serpico. And stars Al Pacino as Serpico, and it's probably Pacino's best film performance, arguably his very best. 8 years later, Sidney Lumet does another film about police corruption. This time it is about Detective Danny Cello, played by Treat Williams, and I do think that it is Treat Williams' best performance. I haven't seen Treat Williams' TV show Everwood, but I've seen Hair, seen Once Upon a Time in America. Thing is, he's not the lead in Once Upon a Time in America. He is the lead in Hair, and I do think that Prince of the City, which is the better performance. But which Sidney Lumet film about police corruption, about New York City police corruption, is better? Is it Serpico or Prince of the City? Well, personally, I don't know, it's kind of tough to say. One is an epic. Well, could you call it an epic? Maybe, maybe not. Prince of the City is a film that you might consider to be an epic, because there's well over 100 talking characters. There's well over 100 different locations. At least that's what I said on the back of my DVD. Yeah, because it's so long, like it's almost 3 hours. It does a really good job in really pulling the viewer into the moment. That's what ultimately what I love about films is when they really pull you into the moment. You forget that you're even watching film. You're like feels like you're inside of it. And also the thing with the Prince of the City is because Treat Williams never really got the status of like world famous, like a household name, a major movie star. It was a little bit more of a surprise to see him do such a great performance. I do think that in the case of Prince of the City, that Treat Williams should have gotten an Oscar nomination. Maybe not quite a win, but an Oscar nomination. So, yeah, Treat Williams, definitely worthy of the Oscar nomination. But let's move over to Serpico for a second, okay? Al Pacino was on quite a streak from 1971 to 1975. Panic in Needle Park, The Godfather Part 1, Serpico, Godfather Part 2, Dog Day Afternoon. Wow, right? With Pacino and Serpico, you knew that he was going to give an Oscar-worthy performance. It's not like in Prince of the City when like you weren't sure, could Treat Williams do such a demanding role? With Pacino, you knew that he was going to, and he still exceeds all expectations. Sure, with Treat Williams, he exceeds expectations too, but with Pacino, he exceeds expectations so much that I still think that in that Oscar year in 1974, that he should have won the Oscar that year. In 1973, there was another film with a seasoned veteran, Save the Tiger, with Jack Lemmon. Jack Lemmon won over Al Pacino for Serpico. Really should have been Al Pacino, I think. So, yeah, in terms of performance, winner is Al Pacino. But then there's the characterizations. Both Prince of the City and Serpico are character-driven films. One is more complex than the other. In Serpico, Al Pacino is an honest cop. He stays an honest cop, and he blows the whistle on police corruption. In Prince of the City, Treat Williams is a crooked cop who loves his family, and he does things because he busts his butt to do stuff, and he may be crooked, but he still feels like he earned some stuff. But eventually he tries to crack down on things, and he really misses the lifestyle of getting extra money and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, while Treat Williams tries to blow the whistle on police corruption and all that kind of stuff, he's still crooked. He's more of a complex sort of character than Frank Serpico is. So, yeah, even though Treat Williams does not give quite as good of a performance as Pacino does, he makes up for it by having a more complex character, and I really appreciated that. So, in terms of the characters, I gotta go with Treat Williams. But the rest of the films are pretty neck and neck with just about everything. Both are New York City films. In the case of Prince of the City, as I said, there's more characters, there's more locations, more complexity. But with Serpico, I've seen it more, studied it more, and it's more. I guess you could say its simplicity is kind of plays a bit of a charm to it too. So yeah, really the only thing that gives me the only thing that I'm gonna have to say that gives Prince of the City less of an edge over Serpico, like gives Serpico a little bit more of an edge, is the thing by Al Pacino. That's really the only thing that I can say that gives Serpico the more of an edge. Al Pacino. Sure, Treat Williams, the complexity of Treat Williams' character does inch up a little bit, but it's not enough to knock off Al Pacino. And the entire films as a whole, too neck and neck for me to say which one's which. Yep, both films are great, but the winner, I'm going to have to go with Serpico on this one.